When do I think I go back to normal? Yeah, that's the energy I get, is this impatience of not wanting to be here now. I want out of it. I want to be back at school, even though I hated school. I want to be back at my job that I was annoyed at and moaned about. I want some kind of normality. I don't like the unknown and the uncertainty. I get it. The agitation. People call it anxiety. I think it's agitation. I think that's a better word for it. And then you forget to breathe. Then you starve the brain of oxygen. I breathe, but I breathe properly in the sense of I use my diaphragm. I don't use, I just don't know. I don't know when this is going to end. When this is going to end, right? So I've now pulled in my stomach and I'm breathing clavicularly. So now I'm starving. You can feel the strain here, on the side of the neck, starving the brain of oxygen. These are yogic principles of being in the middle of a pretzel with your body. And you'll have some people in class that will be like, this teacher's doing this deliberately. Why has she put us in this position? How much longer? How much longer? How much longer? And the teacher, if she's a good teacher, he's a good teacher, will do it until he hears that telepathic silence ripple through the room. So that you start to breathe in equanimity in the difficult position. It's not about breathing when everything's hunky-dory and you're walking down the street. It's about being able to still breathe through being upside down with your legs twisted around your back and your hand like locked in some like chokehold, but it's you chokeholding yourself, but then you still breathe. Because it's the 4th. We're day 4. Day 4 on the 4th. And I believe on the 4th we say, may the force be with you, from the famous film. May the force be with you and also with you. Sounds like a prayer. But I'm going to not say, may the force be with you today. I'm going to say, may the force be known within you. May the force be known within you. You see, I'm teaching the force. Someone asked me not that long ago, who was interested in the work that I was doing for something that he was considering. And he asked me about all my work, and he went through my whole website and YouTube channel with a fine-tooth comb. And I said to him, I'm teaching the force in a tangible way. So that all of my students, whether they're mothers, lawyers, bakers, candlestick makers, yoga teachers, psychologists, surgeons, all know the force within them in the way that they connect to the force. spiritual, conscious, life force energy. And I'm not reductive about it or superficial about it. I try not to take it too seriously, but I also don't entertain when things are frivolous. Someone said I was no nonsense. But that doesn't make sense to me. Nonsense, it's nonsensical. Because you want your teacher to be nonsense then. People are looking for nonsenseness in their guides and their teachers so that they can continue playing games. I'm that dead end. So the reason why I say about knowing the force within you, for it to be a phenomenon, there's a place where you have to admit certain things. And we put up a lot of narratives and a lot of blame and a lot of excuses and a lot of extremely complex structures so not to admit. And it sounds really easy to admit. Oh, you need to admit what it is. I mean, that's the first email you get from me when you're going to have a session. I'm going to have you tell me what it is that you have to admit to that you're feeling. And no one wants to admit. And in a device in engineering, say you're a device in engineering, you're a bio-organism. Admittance is the energy that goes around a device. The amount of admittance. So the more you admit to yourself that I'm agitated, and why am I agitated? Then you can then look at those agitations. I don't like to do meditation. I'm not good at it. Maybe I just don't like to sit with myself. Maybe I don't like my own company. Maybe you're forcing me to sit with the one person that I don't want to sit with. Because all that stuff is going to come up that I have to admit is blocking me, limiting me, censoring my whole life choices. So when I say, may the force be known within you, it is to know is powerful, but it's also terrifying. And someone recently had sent me an email, and going around all the houses of what she needs to do. And I said, why don't you get attuned? She said, well, weirdly enough, I know something inside of me wants to know, but I'm terrified to acknowledge it. Well, at least she has admitted that she's terrified to know. She's terrified to acknowledge it, right? That's a start. And then one of my other students, I don't know if he's on here yet, who's Buddhist, had sent me his Guru Rinpoche's tenets, the Tantric Buddhist tenets he wanted to share for the year. And one of them was to be able to see your faults without losing dignity. Oh, because that blocks the force. That blocks the phenomenon. Because the force is a phenomenon. And being patient without any regrets. awareness, not for me to be aware for them, because then that becomes enabling. And I'm not teaching enabling, I'm teaching awareness. And it's about being able to admit those things, but not blaming yourself or self-depreciating yourself. Oh, you're so bad. You're so terrible for thinking that. Or why are you so agitated? Why are you so... Rather than just accepting that you're agitated. You know, some of my students, oh my God, they're so tapped in and amazing. Some of the things they say at workshops, to the shock of new people, they admit, they're like, God, I'm so spiteful. People look like, oh my God, you can say that? You can say that in a space where you're not going to be judged. I think I'm spiteful too. Let's just tap on it. I'll pretend that I'm just tapping on it for them. Right? Or I'm so jealous. Why can't I move through that jealousy and envy? But first we have to admit it. That's the problem when you tell people that you need to let it go. They have to identify what they need to let go. That's the paradox, before they can let it go. Or if you're going to see someone that keeps telling you to let it go, then maybe that's not the person that you should be going to. Again, that's like I said the other day, it's like the plumber coming in and saying you have a blockage and then leaving. I thought that's why I called you. If I'm going to tell somebody they need to let that particular thing go that they've identified, so that they can recalibrate themselves and be in a greater force with themselves, then, you know, that's what we do. And being patient with people, you know, people will, there's a lot of this, I've always heard it, but it's this like, oh, about negative people, negative people, negative people. Can't be around that negative energy. Why does it bother you so much? What is it in you that you're identifying with? I see negative people all the time. I hear negative things all the time. But I see it as a breakthrough moment. I see it as them admitting. But I'm not enabling staying in that space. Maybe you're getting taken hostage. I don't know. I'm not very good at getting taken hostage, because I'll tell you, the hostage taker over lunch, what the situation is feeling like. In a neutral way, but in a clear way. And being patient with people that want to keep some of their stuff, because they don't know who they're going to be without it, right? They don't know who they are without these mechanisms, without these behaviors, without this identity. So it can get tricky. That's why for me, you have to enjoy going deep with yourself, or at least enjoy the community that you're working with. Because if you don't, it can become a bit of a drag. And then you go find somebody else that will agree with you and diagnose everybody around you that this person's a narcissist and this person's bipolar and this person's totally this and this, and they'll give them all labels so that you can be in your righteousness or just be right. But then you're still angry and you're still depressed or you're still down. So what we're going to do today is, because this is the phenomenon experiment, is we are going to, I'm going to force you to connect to the force within. Yeah, I know. When George Lucas wrote Star Wars, Joseph Campbell stayed with him at his ranch. Those of you who know Joseph Campbell is. For years. Joseph Campbell wrote The Myth of 1,000 Faces. So he looked at all the myths of all the indigenous people around the world, gathered them. They were all the same. And he created the hero's journey from all of the 1,000 myths. We all go through a hero's journey. Sometimes we have to be forced on the path to connect to our force. I know. That's the majority, really. To be forced. And if you do not, there will be also life lessons that will come up in the software to force you to look at what you don't want to look at. So what we're going to do is we're going to voluntarily connect to the force. We're going to volunteer this connection today. We're going to use our breath to begin with. And we're going to use our diaphragm to breathe rather than clavicularly. And when we use our diaphragm, if you've done any singing lessons, or maybe you've done yoga, you've done pranayama, but we're going to retain the breath. We're going to do 4 retaining, and 4 exhaling. 4 inhale, 4 retain, 4 exhale. 4, 4, 4. We're not going to do this either. I'm going to keep a softness across the chest. We're going to try it out. Just shake it out, shake it out. Let the hands just gently land on the thighs or the seat, and sit up nice and tall. And we're going to inhale, and we're going to expand the belly using the diaphragm. And we're going to exhale, retracting the belly. So inhale, and maybe put your hands on your belly just to feel that feeling, because it's the opposite way of what you've been taught here in the West in any breath work. So inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, retract the belly. Inhale, expand, exhale, retract. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now if you have a thought process that is, oh, I'm not doing it right, I don't know what I'm doing, I can't do this, I'm not any good at this, then that's an excuse to not be good at it and get better at it and get better at it and get better at it. No one cares that you're not good at it. Just with each one, you get it a little bit more, you let it a little bit more, you get it a little bit more, right? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, retract the belly. So now we're going to add in the retention, and we're going to do inhale for 4. So rather than doing this and then You're going to try and bring the air in for a count of 4. So inhale. Hold the breath for 4. Exhale. Nice and even. I know it's strenuous. Inhale. Retain. Exhale. Inhale. Retain. Exhale. Inhale. Retain. Exhale. And then let's relax. Let's feel that centeredness in the body. I want you to imagine that there's this pendulum with this weight at the bottom that's connected to your root. The pendulum goes from the center of the brain all the way down to the tip. And that's one chord. Now imagine another 2 pendulums. They go from your eyes all the way down, and they hit your hips. And then from the back of your throat, another pendulum. And these chords within you are in accordance with your energy, and your energy is linked to your emotional stability. And I want you to connect to those chords, in which way the pendulum turns when you connect to fearlessness, to courage, to groundedness. Now I want you to connect to resourcefulness, I want you to magnetize those pendulums to whatever ideas, creativity, innovation, knowingness. What is it that you need to acknowledge within you that's phenomenal? And what is it you feel magnetizing that you're drawing to you right now? Just being here, doing what looks like nothing, but is everything. May the force be known within you today. May you acknowledge the force within you today. I want you to look for the next 2 days for the unusual. Really acknowledge when you did your practice effortlessly. Rather than being dismissive of that force that's trying to guide you from within, taking for granted the intuitive force that sometimes you railroad over, or you don't appreciate enough as a force. Or that loving force. connects you to you. You to your community, to the world. It's right here. Everything you've been looking for out there in your journey is in here. And this force might be too much for you right now. So you're going to have to learn to breathe into it, to normalize it. It doesn't have a problem with being intense. You have to level up. You have to level up to the force within you, not it level down. And as you use your diaphragmatic breathing, it allows you to have more phenomenal moments, more unusual moments. Because you're not as agitated by them or surprised. Because you can't stay in it, it's too much, it's too much. I'm talking about the good stuff as well. Being able to expand into what Joseph Campbell called the bliss, what they call in yoga samadhi. What the Buddhists call nirvana. What we call the Christ consciousness, the light of lights. Are you going to be able to function in it? It doesn't happen overnight, but neither does the splits. Unless you've done gymnastics all your life. Neither does a headstand. Neither does advanced yoga postures. Are you going to be patient? This is our new normal. Being here is all there is. You trying to get out of being here. It's depleting. energy. This is the moment for you to find practices and do them. Not intellectualize them or discuss them or say, I'm going to do that. Just give it a go. Try it out. If you don't like it, ask yourself, do I not like it because I'm not good at it yet? I know it was beneficial. Or is it just not for me and there's something else? So may you know that force within you to know. Let's finish there. Good. Thank you, everyone. Good job. May the force be known within you today. There's a mantra for you. May the force be known within you. Do you want to know? Deep, deep. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Did anyone have any insights? INSIGHTS. Or maybe it was an INCITES. Did it incite something in you? Were you annoyed? Did you get ratty? Either way, the universe unconditionally loves you, and it sparked something. So what was the insight? Yes, getting out of being here. Everybody wants out of this place. We're all in the same boat. But do you want to be in the boat with the person agitated, like pulling everybody here? We all have to begin to take responsibility for the energy we bring to others. The energy that we impose on others. People are not responsible for your insecurities. Calm and in the joy all the way, yeah. And this is a really great time, I'm glad you brought that up, Akasha, is the gratitude. And gratitude. You know, I realized I didn't know what intubated meant this morning. I hear it a lot on the news, but when I looked up, I realized what it was, where it goes all the way back down through the larynx, down the back of your throat, through your vocal cords and down into your lungs to make them breathe. And I thought, wow. Wow for breath work. That force within us that can change our mood, can change our brain chemistry. But we have to take responsibility. We have to admit that we have the force within us. And we have to learn the force, and we have to know it.